Miss Swan, what a pleasant surprise. He stares at me, his gaze unwavering and intense. Holy crow, what the hell is he doing here? Looking all tousled hair and outdoorsy in a gray chunky knit sweater, tight jeans, and walking boots. I think my mouth has popped open and I'm having difficulty locating my brain and my voice, which have disengaged from the rest of my body. Mr. Cullen, I whisper because that's all I can manage. There is a ghost of a smile on his face, and his eyes were alight with humor as if he's enjoying some private joke. I was in the area, he says quietly by way of explanation. I'm hiking. I need a few things. It's a pleasure to see you again, Miss Swan. His voice was warm and husky like dark melted chocolate fudge caramel. Or something. I shake my head slightly. My heart is pounding a frantic tattoo, and for some reason I'm blushing furiously under his steady scrutiny. I'm so thrown by seeing him standing before me, and my memory of him does not do him justice. He's not good looking. He's the epitome of male beauty. Dazzling, and he's here in Newton's camping paradise. Go figure. Finally, my cognitive function is restored and reconnected with the rest of my body. Bella. My name's Bella, I mutter quietly. What can I help you with, Mr. Cullen? He smiles, and again, it's like he's privy to some big secret. It is so disconcerting. I take a deep breath and put on my professional, I've worked in this camping shop for years facade. I can do this. Well, a map of the local area for starters, he murmurs. Okay, I know where those are. I try for nonchalance as I move round the counter, but really I'm concentrating so hard on not falling over my own feet, my legs the consistency of jello. I'm aware that I'm wearing my best jeans, and I'm inappropriately pleased that I decided to wear them this morning. The map's over here. Follow me, I say too brightly. Lead the way, he murmurs, gesturing with his long-fingered, beautifully manicured hand. With my heart practically strangling me because it's in my throat trying to escape from my mouth, I head down one of the aisles to the map section. Why is he here at Newton's? And from a very tiny underused part of my brain, probably located at the base of my medulla oblongata, comes the thought, he's here to see you. No way, I dismiss it immediately. Why would this beautiful, powerful, urbane man want to see me? The idea is utterly preposterous, and I kick it out of my head. Whereabouts were you thinking of hiking? My voice is slightly too high, like I've got my finger trapped in a door or something. Just somewhere picturesque and quiet in the surrounding neighborhood, he waves his hand vaguely. I was visiting the university farming division. I am funding some research there in crop rotation and soil science. See, not here to see you at all. That mean part of my brain, loud and proud, in the frontal lobe of my cerebrum sneers at me. I flush as I think of my foolishness. Is this all part of your Feed the World plan? Something like that, he acknowledges, and his lips quirk up in a half smile. Well, these maps in this section here are the local area. I point to our map display. Part of me can't help feeling that he should have some kind of fancy GPS tracking device for all this sort of stuff. His fingers trail through the map display, and for some inexplicable reason, I have to look away. This is the one, I think. He plucks one out and hands it to me. It's a local map that shows the Willamette Stone State Heritage Site. This trail is quite touristy, I offer by way of a warning. I'd like something more private, he says, and he is gazing at me, green eyes concentrating hard on me. I flush. Why the hell does he have this effect on me? I feel like I'm 14 years old. Gosh, always out of place. Here, this trail is more secluded. It's north of the Willamette, but it's still the forest park. I hand him another map, scrabbling around for my equilibrium. Our fingers touch very briefly, and the current is there, sparking through me. I gasp involuntarily as I feel it all the way to somewhere dark and unexplored, deep in my belly. Have you been? He asks. I shake my head, because I can't talk again. I'm on shifting tectonic plates. Try and be cool, Bella, my tortured subconscious begs. I think we both know that walking is not my thing, Mr. Cullen. I cannot look him in the eye. He is just too glorious to behold. What is your thing, Isabella? He asks softly. That secret smile is back. Books. I squeeze the word out, and inside, that strange place in my medulla oblongata is firing synaptic impulses at me, screaming, You are my thing. I slap it down instantaneously, mortified that my psyche is having ideas above its station. What kind of books? He cocks his head to one side. Why is he so interested? Oh, you know, the usual, the classics, mainly British literature. And he rubs his chin with his long index finger and his thumb as he contemplates my answer. Or he's just very bored and trying to hide it. Is there anything else you need? I have to get off the subject. His hands on his face are so beguiling. Well, I don't know. What would you recommend? Pants, I reply, and I know I'm no longer screening what's coming out of my mouth. He raises an eyebrow at me. Amused. Again. Denim is no good for hiking, I hastily explain. If your jeans get wet, they're heavy. Don't try, and they chafe, and you'll lose body heat. As soon as I say the word body, I can feel the color in my cheeks rising again. Well, I wouldn't want any chafing, he murmurs dryly. I'd better get some pants. What would you recommend? You want something lightweight and breathable. Okay, lead on, Miss Swan. Oh no, I had not bargained for this. The clothing section is this way, I practically whimper. What follows has to be the most uncomfortable experience in my camping sales career. The nadir of my time at Newton's. I have captured a Greek god in our changing rooms, and I'm handing him lightweight walking trousers. How did this happen? By the time he's chosen a pair that are a navy blue, how do I look in these? I'll wear them now, Miss Swan. I am the color of the Communist Manifesto. Do you need anything else? I squeak. He ignores my question. How's the article coming on? He's asked me a normal question, away from all the innuendo and confusing double talk, and the changing of the pants. A question I can answer. I grasp it with two hands tightly like a life raft going for honesty. I'm not running it. Rosalie, Miss Hale, my roommate. She's the writer, and she's very happy with it. She's the editor of the magazine, and of course, she was devastated that she couldn't do the interview in person. I feel like I've come up for air, a normal conversation. Her only concern is that she doesn't have any original photographs of you. He raises an eyebrow at me. What sort of photographs does she want? Okay, I hadn't factored on this response. I shake my head because I just don't know. Well, I intend to be in the area tomorrow. Perhaps... He trails off. You'd be willing to attend a photo shoot? My voice is squeaky again. Rose will be in seventh heaven if I can pull this off. And you might see him again tomorrow. The dark place at the base of my brain whispers seductively at me. I dismiss a thought of all the silly, ridiculous. I think Rose will be delighted if I can find a photographer. I'm so pleased that I unconsciously smile at him, broadly. His lips part slightly, like he's taking a sharp intake of breath, and he blinks at me, looking lost for a fraction of a second, and the earth shifts slightly on its axis, the tectonic plates sliding into a new position. Oh my, Edward Cullen's lost a look. Let me know if you need me tomorrow. He reaches into his back pocket and pulls out his wallet. Here's my card. It has my cell phone number on it. You'll need to call before 10 in the morning. Okay, I grin up at him. Rose is going to be so thrilled. Bella! Mike Newton has appeared out of the ether at the end of the aisle. He's the Newton son, home from Princeton. It's such a surprise to see him. Excuse me for a moment, Mr. Cullen. He frowns as I turn away from him. Mike has been a good buddy, someone I see intermittently when he's home from college, and in this strange moment that I'm having with the rich, powerful, awesomely off-the-scale, attractive, control freak Cullen, it's great to see someone who's normal. He hugs me hard. Surprisingly hard. Bella, hi, it's so good to see you, he says enthusiastically. Hello, Mike. How are you? Are you home for your mom's birthday? Yep. You're looking well, Bells. Really well. He frowns slightly, examining me. He releases me, but keeps a possessive arm draped over my shoulder. And I shuffle, embarrassed, from foot to foot. Mike has always been overfamiliar, but it's good to see him. I glance up at Edward Cullen, and he's watching us like a hawk. His green eyes hooded, speculative, his mouth in a hard, impassive line. He's changed from the weirdly attentive customer to someone else. Someone cold and distant. Mike, I'm with a customer, someone you should meet, I say to try and diffuse the antagonistic look in Cullen's eyes. I drag Mike over to meet him. Can I introduce you to Edward Cullen? Mike and Edward eye each other up, and the atmosphere is suddenly arctic. Mike, this is Edward Cullen. Mr. Cullen, this is Mike Newton. His parents own the place. And for some irrational reason, I feel like I have to explain a bit more. I've known Mike ever since I've worked here, though we don't see each other often. Mike's back from Princeton, where he's studying business administration. I am babbling. Stop now. Mr. Newton. Edward holds his hand out, his look unreadable. Cullen. Mike returns his handshake. Wait up, not the Edward Cullen of Cullen Holdings? Mike goes from surly to awe in less than a nanosecond. Edward smiles politely at him, but his smile doesn't reach his eyes. Wow, is there anything I can get you? Isabella has it covered, Mr. Newton. She's been very attentive. His expression is impassive, cool, but his words... it's like he's saying something else. It's baffling. Cool, Mike responds. Catch you later, Bells. Okay, Mike. I watch him leave for the stockroom. Is there anything else you need, Mr. Cullen? No, just the map and the pants. I take a deep breath and head for the till. I'm aware that I have managed to stay upright the entire time. Mentally, I award myself a small pat on the back. Nearly there. I ring up the map and the trousers. That'll be $53, please. I glance up at him, and I wish I hadn't. He's watching me so closely. Green eyes intense and blazing. It's unnerving. Would you like a bag for jeans and the map? I ask as I take his credit card. No thanks, Isabella. His tongue caresses my name. And once again, my heart is frantic and I can hardly breathe. So, you'll call me if you want me to do the photo shoot? I nod because I have been rendered speechless again. I give him back his card. Good. Until tomorrow, maybe, Miss Swan. Oh, and Isabella, I'm glad Miss Hale couldn't do the interview. He turns and slides purposefully out of the shop, his jeans slung over his shoulder, leaving me a quivering mass of raging female hormones. And it just takes several minutes of staring at the closed door, through which he's just left, for me to return to planet Earth. Okay, I like him. There, I've admitted it to myself. I cannot hide from my feelings anymore. This was what was so confusing. What I didn't understand because I've never felt like this before. I find him attractive. Very attractive. It's a lost cause, I know, and I sigh with bittersweet regret, but I can admire him from afar. Surely. No harm will come of that, and if I can find a photographer, I can do some serious admiring tomorrow. I bite my lip in anticipation and find myself grinning like a schoolgirl. Now I need to phone Rose and find a photographer.